Welcome back to another video. Let's dive in. That looks like some type of frequency, some type of something, I don't know, but that doesn't look natural. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button.
This jaw-dropping satellite imagery shows the clear and incredibly powerful eye of Hurricane Beryl. This high-resolution view shows impressive mesovortices swirling in Beryl's eye. Beryl made landfall on the island of Carriacou with 150-mile-per-hour winds as a Category 4 storm. This imagery shows Beryl rapidly strengthening from a tropical storm into a powerful Category 4 hurricane in less than 24 hours. As the hurricane season continues, be sure to follow along here for more interesting satellite views.
This did radio tomography with 30 watts, looking for oil in the ground. I found 26 oil wells over a 9-state area, and 100% of the time was accurate with just 30 watts of power beaming straight into solid rock. HARP uses 1 billion watts, beamed straight into the ionosphere for experiments. Picture these strings on the piano as layers of the earth. Each one has its own frequency. What we used to do is beam radio waves into the ground, and it would vibrate any strings that were present in the ground. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say, that's natural gas. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say that's crude oil. We were able to identify each frequency. We accomplished this with just 30 watts of radio power. If you do this with 1 billion watts, the vibrations are so violent that the entire piano would shake. In fact, the whole house would shake. In fact, the vibrations could be so severe underground that could even cause an earthquake. In 1983, I did radio tomography with 30 watts, looking for oil in
that for the other things.
Hurricanes are experiments.
Oh, hurricanes was real too?
Good morning. This tank gives scientists and the rest of us a view no one has ever had before. What a hurricane's power looks like at water level as it storms ashore. In just 2 minutes, scientists here can take calm waters and turn them into a monster hurricane.
They could do what now?
The wind is gradually getting stronger and stronger as it's coming up here, and it's ramping up to a Category 5. It's probably about a Category 3 right now.
We use nature as a weapon.
This 75-foot-long tank is the first simulator in the world.
A laser could start the rain.
Pay attention.
You can almost use it to set it off. Matt Mills got into lasers as a kid. It's just innately cool. Now he's part of a team of scientists and military backers on the cutting edge of a new technology. We created a cloud of our own behind Matt's lab. A few months ago, Matt's colleagues in Arizona got this working experimentally. The next step is to get it to work in the sky. Particles in the air are rubbing together, forming static electricity, and the conditions are now right, and they just need to be triggered now. Does this concern you that you may be messing with Mother Nature and doing something that you don't completely understand up here in the cloud? I mean, I suppose that's always a danger, but we're not even near to the case where it could be dangerous yet, so not too much. It's almost like an on-off switch for a thunderstorm. That's the idea behind it.
Hurricanes are experiments.
Oh, hurricanes was real too?
Good morning. This tank gives scientists and the rest of us.
Now I'm starting to think, what really was that sonic boom?
The path of Hurricane Ida was not an act of nature. It was the result of covert and complex climate engineering operations. Hurricanes are being heavily seeded and thus saturated with climate engineering elements. Many of these elements are electrically conductive. Thus, exposure to powerful radio frequency microwave transmissions manipulates the seeded storms by repelling the storms and the air mass around them away from the microwave transmission sites, land-based sites and sea-based SPX microwave platforms. This effect is clearly visible on this microwave transmission level monitoring loop that geoengineeringwatch.org captured during Hurricane Ida's path. As Hurricane Ida reached landfall, the storm was first stalled by land-based microwave transmission facilities. That slowed Ida's inland advance. The storm was then continuously steered by the extensive network of microwave transmission sites. It is the ability of the climate engineers to steer storms like Hurricane Ida that allows them to so accurately plot their exact future paths, often a week in advance. The U.S. military first initiated hurricane manipulation operations 74 years ago, Project Cirrus in 1947. Not opinion, not theory, not conjecture. It is historical fact. If the weather controllers did not want Hurricane Ida to ever even develop, it would not have. If the geoengineers did not want Ida to make landfall, it would not have. In other parts of the country, if the climate engineering cabal were not completely blocking the flow of moisture into the U.S. West, it would not be completely drying up and incinerating. All the way back in the 1960s, in Vietnam, the U.S. military used weather modification operations to flood whatever they wanted. Again, not theory, it's historical record. Are we to believe that after a half century of rapid technological increases in weather modification, that the climate engineers could not augment precipitation anywhere they want, like along the U.S. West Coast, with the whole Pacific Ocean on the doorstep? The weather makers are actually aggressively blocking precipitation from the U.S. West. This is a satellite image proven fact. Climate intervention operations are nothing short of weather warfare. They are the single most environmentally destructive form of human activity. The weather makers leave nothing alone. Nothing. All is now tainted. Covert climate modification programs are not only decimating the planet's last remaining life support systems with epic drought and deluge scenarios, the highly toxic fallout from these operations are contaminating every breath we take. The fight to expose and halt climate engineering is a fight for life, nothing less. All are needed in the desperate battle to expose and halt the climate engineering insanity. Share credible data from a credible source. Make your voice heard. Make every day count. Stay safe, stay strong. This is Dane Wigington from geoengineeringwatch.org.
How do hurricanes form? Hurricanes, also known as typhoons or cyclones, originate as powerful tropical storms over warm ocean waters due to a blend of atmospheric and oceanic elements. They necessitate warm waters with temperatures exceeding 26.5 degrees Celsius for energy. Atmospheric instability above warm seas encourages quick cooling as rising air forms thunderstorms. The Coriolis effect, driven by Earth's rotation, initiates rotation in hurricanes. Low wind shear, the variation in wind with altitude, is essential for organization. These storms undergo stages from tropical disturbance to depression, then to tropical storm and hurricane. The latter features wind speeds over 74 miles per hour and develops an eye, drawing energy from warm waters. Despite their fascinating mechanics, hurricanes pose threats of wind damage, flooding, and storm surges, warranting vigilant monitoring and preparedness. Now you know.
Don't worry if you can't hear what I'm saying. I couldn't even hear myself. This is the loudest sound you could possibly conceive. And, as it turns out, the cleanest. Now, the most amazing thing is that that cloud up there, which was generated by the engine, is just a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen. It's water vapor. And in about an hour's time, someone in Mississippi is going to get wet washing. It will actually rain. I told you! It's raining! That's unbelievable! Oh. NASA's playing God. It's making
That's literally pretty insane that they can do that, honestly.
Sound creates hurricanes. There are two guys in 2003 that lodged a patent to create hurricanes out of sound, believe it or not. And I believe they were granted their patent to create hurricanes. And maybe this is how they create the weather for us, without us even realizing it. And this is where we start getting into the real understanding of some of the masters. And no matter how I look at it, how much research I do, I keep coming back to one guy that stands head and shoulders above all other researchers and inventors of, I don't know, for how many centuries. And that guy's name is Nikola Tesla. He says, if you want to find out the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Sound.
Tesla, I should have known better. That's honestly a pretty cool experiment if you think about it. Even though they're probably playing around, getting their hot tub ready, you really could do a decent experiment showing that. That is interesting.
Hurricanes. That's the black woman. That's her spirit. White folk know that, the real ones, and we don't. All hurricanes start at the exact spot in West Africa where the slaves was put on the ship. Not almost the right area where slaves was put on the ship. That's where hurricanes start. They stay underwater and follow the same route the slave ship followed. No slave was offloaded the ship till it got to the Caribbean. No hurricane jumps above water until it get to the Caribbean. Hit this country and come all the way up the East Coast to Maine. Maine is as close to Canada as you are to me. Canada has never had a hurricane because Canada never messed with a sister like America has. It get there, turns north and go back out. That's who you are. You think this goddamn camera, that little chump shit you got, gonna say, that ain't changing nothing. You already there. Huh?
Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below.
Let me start off by saying this is not true. It's just a folk tale, but I still like the story anyway. See, my grandpappy from the Caribbean just asked me, where do I think hurricanes come from? Now, me being the smart person I am, I come with the science. I'm like, oh yeah, hurricanes, they start in the ocean or warm water, cold water, all that rigmarole, right? Granddad said, that's what they want you to think, son. Now I'm like, oh, this old man about to get into some bush. But then he tells me, he says, no, hurricanes come from the anger of our ancestors from Africa, the ones that jumped off the boat and still at the bottom of the sea today. And then he said, look at the map, son, look at the map. And you'll see that them hurricanes take the same routes as them slave ships. I said, now, old man. But sure enough, look at this difference right here. These are slave ships. These are hurricanes. He blew my mind. I had never seen this before. So I love the theory. It's obviously not right, but still.
Absolutely. That's one of the things we've reminded people, that you're not just putting yourself at risk, you're putting first responders at risk. Hey there, I'm with KHOU, just wondering what is it like seeing this right now?
Shit, you tell me.
Absolutely. That's one of the things we've reminded people, that you're not just putting yourself.
I found out probably 3 days into that Houston people had no power, man. Do you guys still have power? What's the situation down there? I hope y'all all right, man. Seriously. A lot of crazy stuff going on now.
CenterPoint Energy is doing more than dropping the ball at this point. They are responsible for several 100,000 residents in the city of Houston to go several days without power. There have been several reports from linemen that have come from other states to help restore power that are sitting because they can't come up to an agreement over payment. I was curious myself last night, so I drove past one of the CenterPoint Energy staging areas at the Sam Houston horse track, and I seen at least 100 trucks stationed, not out in the field restoring power. Hey, CenterPoint Energy, so you mean to tell us the reason that our power is not getting restored is because you can't come up with an agreement for payment for the out-of-town liners that have come here to help restore power? So not only is there people stuck in their homes with health issues and high-risk pregnancies, and even several nursing homes around the city who have had ambulance transports to the hospital due to their nursing homes being down, but you guys can't get it together to restore power? I want to make this very clear. It isn't the linemen who have come from out of state or even the men that work in these CenterPoint trucks. It's their bosses above them that aren't doing their jobs and allowing them to go out into the field to restore power to Houston. Now, I don't know who out there is ready to go up to CenterPoint to demand that the power get restored, but we need to come together. I don't know if we got to protest or whatever we got to do, but there are too many people in the city of Houston who have gone too many days that have health issues that need their voices heard. Let me know in the comments section if you guys want to get together to go up to CenterPoint and demand that this issue get resolved.
People are tired of talking, man. They're ready to start marching and figure out what's going on. You know, how many more times is this going to happen?
I can't keep doing this, bro. I can't keep running away from storms. I ain't gonna run away. I came to my sister's house. She lost power too. I have never been so hot and miserable in my entire life. We went to Buc-ee's this morning. I finally got some food. A Diet Dr. Pepper. Let me tell you something. I am so sick and tired of these extreme weather events happening here in Texas. And number one, Greg Abbott's not even here. Man's went to South Korea on like a pre-planned photo op business trip to be like, oh, strengthen relations with Texas. Would you want to strengthen relations with Texas when shit like this keeps happening? Because I wouldn't. The second thing is, like, we know that our infrastructure when it comes to electricity in this state is so bad, and yet we do nothing to fix it because the legislature just doesn't want to. We should be investing in burying power lines. We should be investing in updating the grid so that every time a fucking storm happens, we don't all lose power. This is the second time in this hurricane season, not even this year, just this hurricane season, where over 1 million people have lost power. All I have to say is, how many more times does this have to happen before y'all start voting out the people who allow these circumstances to be created in the first place?
I highly recommend getting a generator. At least you can get everything charging and have a source of entertainment, even get an AC going if you get high enough wattage. You know, just gotta remember to change that oil, but I recommend a generator if you can. Keep it far away from the house. Look into how to properly use one if you do.
2 days after Beryl slammed into Texas as a Category 1 hurricane, more than 1.7 million customers here are still in the dark. We spoke to Yvette Carrasco outside her home in Channelview. Without power, she told us, the triple-digit heat index has been unbearable.
It was hot.
Are you
and
okay?
I'm about to not be okay.
Minutes into our interview, she said she had to sit down.
When it's this hot and you don't have power, can you stay inside?
No.
With much of the West under excessive heat warnings, Carrasco is not alone. In Portland, Oregon, officials say there have been at least 5 suspected heat since Friday. As for Beryl, the storm's remnants were still creating dangerous conditions in the Midwest on Tuesday. This tornado in Mount Vernon, Indiana, crossed into the state from western Kentucky. Watch as the violent twister caused a power transformer to explode and damage several buildings along its path. As it picks up strength, debris from nearby structures can be seen swirling in the air. Back in Houston, some Texans escaped the severe heat and humidity at local cooling centers.
This year, my complex has lost power twice without hurricanes. It seems incredibly common that the infrastructure can't handle a basic storm.
Man, it's a reality that, you know, you got to be properly prepared for this. You need water, food, electronic devices that can get charged. And yeah, again, that generator, I highly recommend one.
Yeah, it's so hot. People are passing out in the apartment. We've been out of power. Yeah, it's so hot. People are passing out in the apartment. We've been out of power for a full week now. And people are literally being sent to the hospital for heat exhaustion, overheat, heat stroke. Like, this is a lot going on. We can't hardly get any resources. This is crazy. Y'all, it's so hot.
If you're from that area, top in. Let us know if you got power, if you're all right in the comments below. It's been a while. I hope you got everyone in that area is doing great. You know, I know a lot's going on in the country right now. I really don't want to talk about it, but we, hey, let's keep your head on a swivel out here for real. Things is getting crazy. Your boy don't even want to talk about it, you know. But hey, we gonna keep it going.
CenterPoint this month. If you have CenterPoint and you live in Houston, Texas, we should not have to pay CenterPoint this month. If you have CenterPoint and you live in Houston, Texas, you should not have to pay a dime for your light bill, man. I don't believe anyone should pay. The least they can do is give us a free month. You telling me a Category 1 storm caused this many people to be without power? I understand things happen, man, but good Lord, this many people without power off of a Category 1 storm? CenterPointless. We should not have to pay CenterPoint this month.
Hi guys, I wasn't going to do an update today, but here I am. Do a quick one. Today's day 7, I think, without power. So yeah, first day back to work, and I had a lot of angry clients that didn't hear from me the last week because I was out of the office. So I had a lot of, angry voicemails. And I had set up like my email at least to let them know that like we're dealing with the hurricane. So I had one lady, and she was like, well, I know you may be affected from the hurricane, but you're probably still working at home. You just refuse to call me. And I was like, that's not even true. 1, I don't really work from home for the most part, and 2, I didn't even have internet. So she's just, yeah, that was my first day back. So day 7, Houston, post hurricane, no power.
I just was talking about generators.
A new mural that has popped up in our city. It reads CenterPointless. This is off of I-10 right at Sawyer, and it pretty much sums up how some people are feeling right now. As you mentioned, we're going into day 3 of just another hot day here inside of a home without air conditioning. And so CenterPointless, that sums up how people feel, maybe not necessarily towards the crews that are out trying to make these fixes and repairs right now, but more so the system that led up to these massive outages. So right now the company is estimating 400,000 will have power restored by Friday and another 350,000 by Sunday night. Meanwhile, the remaining 400,000, they will likely be in the dark past Sunday. So that's a week after the Category 1 storm blasted Southeast Texas.
So I'm recording this on Monday. So I hope everyone's back on now. Hopefully, man, because it's hot out there.
Hi friends, it is day 8 of no power. Day 8. And my projected date to get power back is the 19th, Friday. But on the bright side, at least there's power at work now, so I am headed to work today. And I'll be in the AC for a couple of hours and then come back home to the oven. So shout out to CenterPoint. Bye. Hi friends, it is day 8 of...
How can we do it?
Because it is currently day 3 and it is hot as hell. Where the hell is y'all at? Where y'all at? My candle about out, groceries gone, water gone. Where is y'all at? Please, hurry, hurry.
When are you coming to my street? Are you almost, why aren't you? Thank you, sir. Thank you for your work. My street next, please. I have no water.
You know what's crazy, y'all?
You never know how much of a survivor you are till you put in a position to survive. What? No power? No problem. You don't even need that. Look, she telling you that she gonna eat regardless. Her family gonna eat regardless. What's them, chicken nuggets? Hold on, Jones busting better than McDonald's right now. No power, no problem. You know what's crazy, y'all? You never know how much of a survivor you are.
I love to see the survivability. I just hope that's safe.
This is no longer a joking matter. It's getting serious in Texas. There are literally over 1 million people still without power. And now it's turning deadly. And that is why Texas has to get its act together. I sometimes go after Texas because the infrastructure there, particularly their power grid, is a joke. And to have basically a Category 1 hurricane, barely a Category 1, knock out Houston like this to the point where over 1 million people continue to have no electricity, it's not acceptable. What happens when there's a Category 3 or 4? How many weeks would we go without power then? It's time for Texas to step up and spend the money on updating its power grid. You're literally now putting lives at risk. And it's no longer a laughing matter. It's no longer, a joke to point at and say, oh, look at Texas, their power's out again. Oh, look at Texas, they can't get it together. Enough is enough. When it starts costing people their lives because you can't even handle the basics, it's time for a change. It's time to do something different. Like and follow for more. I'm going to be talking about this a lot more. It's got me so upset. I just can't believe Texas can't get its act together with its power grid, and that it's just a laughing matter year after year, and now it's costing people their lives. Enough is enough.
Hey, this is definitely no laughing matter. My prayers out to everyone. I hope everyone makes it through this. Do what you can. Check on your loved ones, make sure they're okay, and stick to this together. We're all in this together.
Day 8. No freaking power. Oh, is there any point in getting out of bed? Seriously.
Day 8 is ridiculous in that heat. Damn, that looks good. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade.
We're now on day 4, no power in Houston. We have the windows and doors open, and the kitties are pretty warm too. I started clearing out all our food in the fridge and freezer, so all of it went bad, so that really sucks because that was like a lot of groceries that we had to get rid of, and now we have to re-buy. Luckily, we were able to find some ice, so we got some cold drinks at least. And really the only relief we've found is putting like towels in the ice water and just putting them around our necks or our backs. That's the only way I've been able to sleep in the apartment at night, is like sleeping with wet towels on me. And there's so many people that are just going to their cars at night, in between during the day, charge a phone, cool off, and we resorted to like putting a little bed in the back of my car. So fingers crossed, today is the day we get power. Please, CenterPoint, please.
Texas has its own power grid? Yes, sir. ERCOT. Yee. Aha. Oh, so what makes it different from like the national power grid?
Well, it's ours. Ours. Texas.
Okay, so how does it work?
Well, when it gets too hot, stops working, costs a fortune.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Does it do anything else?
Actually, yes. When it gets too cold, stops working, costs a fortune.
Right. So why do you guys have this?
It's ours. Ye, wait for it. Uh-huh.
I mean, Texas, I heard Texas has great homes for the price, but it makes me a little skeptical if someone wants to move there. Like, man, when's the next time? When is this going to happen? When is something like this going to happen again?
Good morning from Houston. This is where we're at with Texas power grid failure. Still kind of during Beryl. He's about to go away, but he's still kind of here. I figured out how to use the butane stove. I have never done that before, so cool. Made some tortillas. They're over there. And making some papas con huevos. And because I don't have any shredded cheese, I'm just going to melt some of these in there. Don't come for me. And that's going to be breakfast. Yeah. Unfortunately, I was not thinking ahead, and I put all of the potato skins into the sink. And then I was like, oh my god, there's no power. I can't use the garbage disposal, so that's going to smell in a bit. And I'm not reaching my hand in there to go pick them up. So it is what it is.
The fact that the Whataburger app is what Texans are using right now to see what part of the power grid is working and what part is not is like a slay because you voted in your own government, but also like the fact that the Whataburger app is what Texans.
Did you know that ERCOT, the Electricity Reliability Council of Texas, collects an average of 50 to 60 cents a month per household for being connected to their services? They control over more than 90% of all Texas households, which is over 26 million homes. This adds up to an estimated $14 million per month and approximately $171 million per year. As a nonprofit organization, this revenue is intended to support their operations and ensure the reliability of the Texas grid. Their sole purpose is to monitor and manage the distribution of electricity to maintain a balance between supply and demand. It's important to stay informed about how these fees are utilized and the impact they have on the overall electricity infrastructure in Texas, which is crucial for meeting our energy needs and maintaining a reliable power source for our homes and businesses. Like and follow to learn more about what's going on with the Texas grid.
Imagine you working at your funky little job. It's your birthday. You go to take your 10, 15-minute break, and you want to have a piece of your birthday cake. Sit down and find out one of your coworkers ate the cake and left the icing. That is diabolical. How you gonna carve out all the cake and leave the residual rooftop of the icing in the refrigerator? Listen, if you eat somebody's cake, you gotta eat people's cake. Who am I to say don't eat somebody's birthday cake? To trick someone and leave the top? You evil. And I would lose my job that day. That was a Shawshank Redemption cake. Her coworker went there, bite by bite, because you know that wasn't one trip, bite by bite, and came and just gnawed at it and was so meticulous as to leave the roof. She don't have the ceiling missing. She had the bottom missing with the ceiling there. Oh, how you gonna eat my birthday cake on my birthday cake and you just gonna eat my birthday cake on my birthday?
That's pure diabolical. They had time on their hands. You would need a good 5-10 minutes. I wonder if they used their 3 fingers and just scooped it and just, like a savage, quick popped it open and scooping it in. Oh my goodness, that was diabolical. Obviously, they had to have it. Hey guys, that's all I got for today. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on another one. Peace out.